Subcontracting government contracts. Let's talk about it, and let me give you my personal opinion about it. I want to talk about it because I'm getting a lot of people that ask me about subcontracting government contracts, and I know why people are asking me, because there's other content creators that talk about subleasing government contracts. So then you take their information and you try to apply it to me. Yes, I know everything there is to know about it. Yes, inside of my program, I do talk about it. I do teach you guys how to do it, but that is not my recommended method of doing government contracts, and these are the reasons why. Now, what is subcontracting a government contract? Subcontracting a government contract is when you find a government contract and you necessarily don't meet the criteria, do the work, or do anything with the contract. So what you do is you find somebody that you can team with that actually qualifies to do that contract, and you guys team up together, get the contract. They do most of all of the work, and then you might get a small percentage of it. Now, there's pros and cons of doing any and everything, but the reason why I don't prefer to do that is because if that other company chooses not to uphold their end of the deal, whatever they do can fall on me as a business as well. So let's just say, for instance, that I get a lawn care government contract, and they're a lawn service, and I team up on the contract with them, but they're cutting the grass. But let's just say for some odd reason, they just stop cutting the grass over there. Maybe they feel like they're not getting paid enough. Just whatever reason that it is, if they was to stop doing that contract, then it's gonna fall on me. And then I'm not going to be able to necessarily find somebody else to do that contract, because according to the government, it's supposed to be me and that one company actually own that contract. And me personally, I just can't let my business rely on somebody else's work like that, especially with them being 50-50 partners or whatever on the actual government contract itself. Now, there are many different ways to skin the cat. There's different ways that you can do this. Me personally, the method that I prefer, and this is really tailored to the industry that I'm in. So I'm in the logistics industry, and so most of the contracts that I go after are usually logistics contracts, such as I'm a freight broker. So with me being a freight broker, I usually go after any contract that has anything to do with freight, driving, anything of that nature. And I will gain the contract. Then after I gain the contract based on my own credentials, what I would do then is broker the work out. Now, the difference in between me doing that is, if I was to give a load to another company, and let's just say for some odd reason they're not able to work today, I can just simply give the load to another company. So there is no situation to where one company can let me down, but I'm stuck in the contract with them. Get what I'm saying? So when you're subleasing a contract with someone, you're stuck in that contract with that one company. With how I do it, I'm a broker. I gain the contract on my own, and then after I gain the contract on my own, I will then contract the work out to different multiple carriers. And if anybody can't do the work, I'll just simply get another carrier on the job. Now, another thing that you can actually do is, if you are not a freight broker, or if you don't want to sublease, you can still gain that contract on your own and then just hire workers up under you. I would rather prefer that method rather than subleasing a contract. Now, that's still me gaining the contract on my own, but now I'm hiring workers and I'm hiring individuals that might actually know how to do that service, and then I'm putting them to work up under me, maybe W-2 or even a 1099 contractor. But the work still falls on me, and if they don't do whatever job they're supposed to do, I could simply just fire them and then get somebody else to do the job. But I am solo on that contract. Me and my company is solo on that contract, and if they was to quit, I have the freedom of just getting somebody else on the contract. But when you actually go into the contract with the government, subleasing with somebody else, you're stuck in the contract with them. So if they don't really care about the contract as much as you do, and they decide to bail out for whatever reason, or let's just say if you go into the contract with them and their insurance is pretty much what helps you gain that contract. So let's just say if it is a logistics contract and they got a carrier insurance, and so you're basing their contract off of their insurance, or you was able to gain that contract off of their insurance, but let's just say something happened and they don't pay their insurance, and now you lose the contract, they lose the contract, but it falls on you and hits you harder than it really does them, because this is your method and mode of actually making money. You get what I'm saying? So there's 3 different ways of actually doing it. Subleasing, which I still teach and I show you guys how to do it. It's just not my preferred, but that's not to say that doing it for anybody else is wrong, because there's multiple people that do it. That's just not what I would do. 2, freight broker. I've been having my freight broker license for years. I would rather gain the contract on my own and actually broker the freight out, which that's what I do. Or 3, I would prefer you to actually gain the contract based on your own credentials and then just hire the people up under your company to do the work. And if for whatever reason they don't do the work, then you could just fire them and get somebody else to do the job. But I just wanted to talk about that because I've had a lot of people lately to ask me about that. And I know they're asking me about that because there's other content creators talking about it. But yeah, I know about that too. All right, peace. Just my opinion.